All right, Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elected nation of Israel. This is Ratazah from the Great Millstone Atlantic Camp. All right, with another lesson. All right, I'm going to be very brief, Lord willingly. All right, just want to chime in on the whole 9/11 thing. All right, today is so-called September 11th. All right, and you look online on the television and whatnot. They're showing a lot of stories concerning headlines concerning 9/11. All right, which we all know what 9/11 was about. All right, and a common thing I see people saying is that they tell us to never forget. That's like the tagline or the slogan to 9/11 is never forget. But here it is, the same people, they expect you to forget and get over slavery. All right, the harsh punishment and experience that our people had to endure here in America. All right, and I just went to Google and I typed in never forget 9/11 or 9/11 slavery, because I knew somebody had put together some memes. All right, like for instance, this is a good one right here. It says 9/11, they say never forget. All right, the Jewish Holocaust, never forget. The Titanic, never forget. But then look, all right, which I think that's a screenshot from the movie Roots or the TV show Roots. It says slavery, shut up and get over it. You see that? Another one, I think, is the same thing. Never forget, never forget, never forget. But then when it comes to the so-called Negro, all right, get over it. And not just the so-called Negro, but what their so-called Hispanics and Native Americans had to endure. They tell you to get over that, man. That's in the past. We passed that. Leave things in the past. Look forward to the future. But anytime the damn so-called white man went through a little adversity, which we're not gonna make the video about that, but there's a lot of conspiracy concerning, these three other things here that you see in these pictures. We all know 9/11 was a goddamn inside job, and I'm not gonna go into that. There's a video for another day, but whenever it, involves a so-called white man, people supposed to always put that in their mind. But the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, we gotta just shut up and just deal with it, man, and just forget about it. See that? It's all types of memes and stuff, man. All right, and like I said, it's gonna be very brief. I'm gonna bring out the scripture here, Jeremiah 15 in verse 5, and it says, "For who shall have pity on thee, O Jerusalem?" But Jerusalem is your so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, the Israelites, the true and real Israelites according to the Bible. It says, "For who shall have pity on thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee? Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?" You see that? And that's these other nations. These other nations don't care about us, man. They look down on us. They spit on us. They look at us like trash. The things we had to endure. They don't ask us how we're doing, and they don't try to help. Because for one, they're our enemies, man. All right, the other nations are our enemies. And the scriptures say not to trust them or not to associate with them. But nobody has no type of pity upon you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans. All right? The stuff your ancestors had to endure, hey, we basically just got to, as those posts said, we just got to get over it. Forget about that. You know what I'm saying? It's a new day. That was in the past. Well, 9/11 was in the past. The so-called Jewish Holocaust was in the past. All right, the damn Titanic sinking, that was in the past. So at what point do we supposed to forget about things? Is it a year? Is it a certain number of years that have to go by before we could put things to rest and move on, or is it just because it's what's happened to the so-called Negro and Hispanics? You see that? It says, verse 5 again, "For who shall have pity on thee, O Jerusalem? Or who shall bemoan thee?" See that? "Or who shall go aside to ask how thou doest?" Nobody cares about us, man. All right? To these so-called white people in these nations, slavery, that was nothing. They look at that like, well, nah, they were supposed to go through that. Fuck, F them people, so to speak. for lack of a better word, man. All right. But what the scriptures say, you're supposed to bring, how's it worded? I think it's Ecclesiastes 3:15, I think. Let's just get that real quick. Yep, Ecclesiastes 3:15. That which have been is now, that which is to be have already been, and God requireth that which is past. You see that? So what is past, the Most High is required, man. Just bury it and forget about it, man. Especially such a pivotal time in our history. All right, such as slavery here in America. You can't sweep that under the rug. It's going to keep coming up. All right, it's going to keep coming up. It's going to keep being brought up, and we ain't forgetting the goddamn thing, man. All right, because you got to pay for the sins of your forefathers. All right, speaking to you so-called white people, you got to pay for the crimes of your ancestors, which really was you back then. All right, because reincarnation is biblical. Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers. All right, so slaughter is being prepared for you so-called white people. All right. Because why? You slaughtered the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And the scriptures say, Colossians the 3rd chapter, for he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he have done. And there's no respect to persons. So your ass got to pay, man. It says, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right? And that's how we know that you were the same people coming back, because that's exactly what you did. All right, I'm speaking to you again, you Edomites. Okay, you possessed the land, which is the land of Israel. All right, you possessed the land and you filled the face of the earth with cities, man. All right, primarily here in America. So as the scripture says, the Most High requireth that which is past. So we're not gonna forget a damn thing, man. And that's straight up hypocrisy. To say, here it is, here it is. People supposed to never forget 9/11, which I forget the number of people that supposedly died in 9/11, but that's a grain of salt compared to the so-called Negro here in America. Oh, see that? Oh, here go a better one. America be like, never forget, get over it. Let's completely ignore the fact that 90% of the native population was wiped out. 100 million people murdered. See that? But they want us to remember the couple Edomites getting clipped, man. Probably with some jakes in there. Like I said, I don't remember the exact numbers or whatever, but it does not compare, man. But that's why I read that scripture in Jeremiah 15:5. Who have pity on thee, O Jerusalem, and who shall bemoan thee? All right. They don't care about the Israelites, man. All right. And that's just basically what it is, man. Let's see here. Yeah, it pretty much says the same thing. Same thing. They use different photos and stuff. Different Instagram post. No, that's not Instagram. Twitter. Excuse me. Twitter posts. So yeah, I just wanted to just bring out a couple points on that. Just like I told a brother in the chat, man. These so-called holidays and days they got in America. I'm not gonna keep up with them no more. I would have forgot it was 9/11. You know what I'm saying? If I didn't run into anything online, I would have forgot about it, man. Because to me, to us ain't it's not that goddamn important. But with that, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem, Rakakwadash, Lord willingly to the next lesson. Shalom.